Hello, everybody. It's a little late. I'm about to go to bed in a little bit, but I thought I'd just share some things that are on my mind right now. I have no idea where this video is going. I kind of have an idea, but I don't know where it's going, so it's all gonna be improvised. Um, but I want to talk about the idea of awareness, right? Particularly in the hypnosis world, there's this idea that here's your subconscious mind. It's this big, right? And then they say, here's your conscious mind. It's this small. It's a little speck. And they belittle a little bit of the conscious mind. And to me, that's a shame because really, the conscious mind is actually a very powerful part of our mind. It's needed. It helps us to make decisions particular decisions about whether or not we want to push something down and suppress it or let something come up to express it. It was a strong catalyst for pushing down many of the feelings that you've suppressed inside of you in the first place. So for me, belittling the conscious mind is a shame because it's a very strong tool. It's a very powerful tool that if you can learn to hone it, you'll be able to make decisions or help heal more what you've been holding on to. But again, the conscious mind is so powerful that if you're not ready to face the emotions that you've held on to, it will keep that suppressed for quite a long time until the body starts to step in and the body says, are you kidding me, Matt? I've been holding on to this for too long, right? As I've always said in the past, you and your body made an agreement. Your body said, I will hold on to these feelings that you don't want to feel, Matt, at any moment in time because it's not safe or it's just not appropriate, but I need you to look at it at some point. So our conscious mind can keep pushing that feeling down, but eventually either one or two things are going to happen. One, our body's going to shake us out of it. Something's going to happen to the body. Or two, our life situations, because our body, not wanting to feel this feeling, is going to try and get you to acknowledge these feelings some way, somehow, whether it's through some kind of uncomfortableness that can lead to something greater, or whether it's like acting like a magnet to pull you into the things that you're trying to ignore and suppress and move away from. Listen to your body, guys. I mean, there's so much talk. I see a lot of talk about the body and a lot of modalities out there, but I don't really see too many modalities really digging in and understanding how deeply involved the body is in acknowledging what emotions we've suppressed and held on to so that we can get it out. It's huge. I'm going to move away from that a little bit because I've already talked about that a lot. But if you talk to a surgeon, he's going to want to cut. If you talk to a baker, he's going to want to bake. And if you would have talked to me about 10 years ago, I would have said all your issues could be resolved as a result of cleaning out what's been inside of your mind, right? You've held stuff, and if you just clean it out, you will all of a sudden everything will be magical. Things have changed, but in a good way because I think I've gotten more aware. The truth of the matter is, there's three parts of your life that I think everybody needs to focus on in order to maintain balance. And balance is the key to the universe. It's a key to the way we live. Just for example, over the course of the last 3 weeks, I was actually in a very manic, excited kind of state. So I was getting a lot of things done, but it was very wearing on me. I didn't know how wearing it was on me. I mean, I was staying up late nights, getting things done, typing stuff up, cutting videos, editing videos, answering emails, all that stuff. So I was staying up late, and then one morning, I woke up. I had an appointment actually at 7 o'clock in the morning. Julie, that was you, Julie, right? And I woke up utterly exhausted. Like I was just, I do all my sessions through Skype, right? So I was looking at it, I was trying so hard to fake it, but my eyes wanted to do this. I was just so tired. So I actually got some rest, and I contemplated and I moved through some particular energies, and I came to realize that I was holding on to that excitement for just too long. My body couldn't hold it. Remember, excitement, as I talked about, is just the opposite of fear. It does the exact same things to the body. It pulls you out of homeostasis, right? Anyway, I had to actually tap through some of the excitement, move my energy through in regards to the excitement, so I can come back more into balance. So where was I? Like I told you, I don't know where this video is going. Right. So if you talk to a surgeon, he's going to want to cut. A baker's going to bake. If you would have talked to me like 10 years ago, I would have said everything's in your mind. You got to release it and move on. Right. The reason you're 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight is because everything starts with the mind. Everything starts with a thought. Everything starts with a feeling. Everything needs to be cleansed. That's preventing you from getting into the shape that you want to get. But this whole world works on balance. If you just focus simply on mental, emotional aspects, you're ignoring two other aspects of your life that are here to help you find balance. One is your physical part, which includes the nutritional and the exercise part, a component of your life. And the other part is your spiritual part, right? And I'll get to those in a moment. But if you only just focus on the mental, emotional stuff of your life, that's going to start moving into the energies of your physical, nutritional stuff, right? And you might even start believing that you could almost eat anything and you're going to be okay. And I know there are those extreme cases where somebody lived to be 110 years of age, smoked a lot of cigarettes, drank wine, right, and still lived a long life. But you know what? We have the opposite of that as well, right? We have people who lived a long life as a result of eating well, right? So who knows really where it is. But here's the thing, right? So if you only use your mental, emotional tools to move through your life, you're going to be ignoring some of the physical, nutritional stuff that is here to help keep you aware, right? And move on. Let's move on a little further. If you only focus on your mental, emotional stuff, you're going to start using some of the energy from your spiritual abilities to move through your life. Let me go the other way now. Let's say, for example, you get a nutritionist, and nutritionist comes over and says, nutrition, it's all about nutrition. If you eat perfectly, everything will fall into place. Right? And then let's talk about the spiritualist. The spiritualist will come, just stay connected to God. God's everything. If you just stay connected, everything will fall into place. Look, the truth of the matter is all these three areas have to be focused on. All these three areas have to be a part of your life to help keep you in balance. We're not here to fall asleep. I mean, this is going to be tough for many people to hear, but healing is constant. It doesn't get it gets easier, but it doesn't get easy because we have to stay constantly aware of what's happening inside of us, constantly aware of our place at any moment in time, right? I mean, you could slack off a little bit, but if you start slacking off and get used to slacking off, the universe is going to slap you on the ass. I told you I'm giddy now. I'm ready to go to sleep, so I'm getting kind of silly. And it's going to spank you. We've got to use three areas in our life to help keep us aware. If we don't use all three, if we only use one, it's going to start moving to the energies of the other, and it's going to wear you out. Let's take the spirituals, for example. A very prominent spiritual leader, Ram Dass, back in, I believe, 1997, had a stroke. And everybody's like, whoa, how could you have a stroke? Ram Dass, how could that possibly happen to you? You're so spiritual. What he came to learn is that he pretty much said, I can't remember the exact words, but he was pretty much saying that I spent too much time in the spiritual and completely ignored my body. And he pretty much admitted that he thought that he could ignore his body by just listening to the spiritual. Wrong, right? In all honesty, I mean, we all have some emotional or mental stuff to cleanse. He probably had some emotional, mental stuff to cleanse as well, even though he's this great spiritual leader. And it's definitely nutritional and emotional stuff. He probably ignored some nutritional, emotional stuff. But at the same time, let's go the other way. If you get a nutritionist and only focus on nutrition, they're going to miss some mental, emotional aspects of their life that will still keep bringing them into certain challenges. They may be in great shape, right? They may exercise all the time, but part of them might be off emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Definitely, if they're not connected to any kind of higher power, it's something. They're going to feel out of control in some way, shape, or form, right? Even though they're trying to get all the control through nutrition. But again, I hope I'm making sense. I'm pretty tired, but I wanted to do this. So what I came to realize, we really have to constantly focus on all three. Randy Holds, you're out there. You're always putting stuff about emotional releasing, emotional cleansing, and nutritional stuff. Love it. And even the spiritual stuff. Love it, right? Because you're smart enough to know that we have to focus on all three in order to live our life in balance. If we don't focus on one or the other, or two or the other, or all three, somewhere in our life there's going to be an imbalance. We've really got to focus on all three. And if you it's not even, you know what? Yes, it gets easier, but it doesn't get easy. But it's actually not that hard once you start creating habits out of listening to what's happening to you mentally, emotionally, and staying consistent with your nutrition and exercising, and staying and meditating. For me lately, a lot is and just staying connected to that authentic you, that spiritual self inside of you. So think about your life right now and be honest with yourself. Are there any one of these three parts that you may be ignoring more than the others? Is there any one of these three parts, that you might be putting too much emphasis on? And ask yourself, is there some way to balance it out so that you can give respect to all three of these parts of our life? By the way, though, one might be so out of balance that you're going to have to give it more attention, right? But there's going to be a point where you can slack off the attention and give it to the other parts of your this trifecta, right? For example, you might be so nutritionally deficient. I don't care how much you cleanse, emotional wise. I don't care how much connected you stay to God, right? If you're nutritionally deficient, you're going to need to build nutrition inside your body. If you haven't exercised in a long time, your heart, your lungs, everything about you, your muscles is craving for some energy. It needs energy. Exercising and nutrition and all that stuff will help you cleanse, move through some of the excess energy that you're holding on to. Right? And vice versa. If you have not paid attention to your mental, emotional aspects of your life, then yes, you're going to have to do a lot of digging and cleansing. You might be the most fit person in the world, exercising, nutrition-wise. You might be like Ram Dass, right? Very spiritually inclined. But if you don't face those mental, emotional parts of you that you've been suppressing and hiding onto, it's going to make it so difficult for you to connect spiritually and give your body nutrition that it really needs. All three need your attention. They're here so that you can stay awake, you can stay aware, and you can stay conscious. You don't want to fall asleep. We all need these challenges. We need them, right? Again, to stay aware. If we didn't have them, we just fall asleep and we wouldn't be aware at all. We'd just be robots, right? So we need all three aspects of our life. So ask yourself again, is there any one of these three that's lacking? If it is, take some energy from the stuff you've been doing. If you've been doing so much mental, emotional stuff, put some energy into your nutrition and your exercise. If you've been putting it all in your spiritual stuff, stop spiritual bypassing. Even Ram Dass said he was spiritually bypassing his body. Right? Come back to feed your body and exercise your body. Come back to listen to your body to find out what you need to emotionally and mentally cleanse. And the key to this whole thing in all three, though, in all three aspects of your life, the key that ties it all together is the body. Your body will let you know through sensation, through even feeling numb and nothing, by the way. Basically, and through all these sensations inside of your body, it will tell you when you're off in any one of these three categories. So listen to your body. It's the key. Okay, I think I've talked enough. Hope you're doing well. Have a good night. Live spiritually and with practicality. Talk to you later.